welcome to our Distributed 23 session. This is John White here from Hero Studio.
And I'm Hillary from Hero.
Hello. So we are very excited to be here with you today, part of the Distributed 23 conference. We hope everyone is having an absolutely great day so far, and we hope you're going to have an even better day once this session kicks into high gear. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you our Miro experience for the day. Here we go. Our amazing Miro board is coming up on screen right now, and we may be opening the floodgates to let some other people into this room. I'm just going to make sure that we have edit access for people that do end up coming into the room. And so our session here today is called Charting New Realms. And this is really all about seeing where humans and AI can find space to collaborate. We've been using AI tools now for the better part of a year. Keep those fire symbols coming up the page. Keep the reactions coming, guys. We love that stuff. So we had a hypothesis when we set out in planning this session, and we were going to put humans against AI and see for once and for all, for this point in time, because everything changes on a daily basis, what's better at what. But what we found out as we started building this session out is that we think there's truly a balance to be had with humans and AI, so we can all work together and make the absolute best things happen. So I approached this with an open mind and an open heart. And when Hillary was approaching this topic to dissect into it, she had a little bit of a different take.
I was a little bit more resistant because I'm an analog painter by tradition. I'm also a designer for Hero, but it can kind of look a little threatening because it's got a lot of capability and it can look creative. So we're going to see where we ended up with that because it changed.
We are absolutely going to do that. So let us get in on our first section here. Underneath our profiles are here, folks. You can connect with us on LinkedIn. We would love to hear from you. We love working in Miro and creating amazing experiences like the one we've got here for you today. To get us started with our icebreaker today, we're going to ask our audience of friendlies here to do 3 questions here. So the first question is, how would you rate your understanding of the strengths and limitations of AI in collaboration with humans? And we're going to get our moderators to activate this poll so that folks who aren't in this Miro board can give us a response and see how we're feeling. So just drag a dot from the pack here onto the continuum, and we'll see what our audience here thinks. And already I can see that we have a wide swath of people giving a wide array of responses, which is kind of a really cool thing because our team that we've assembled here today, some are specialists or specializing in parts of AI, while others use it recreationally. And then we have a few folks who don't use AI as much and are very eager to show the human chops and how well we can do here. So we actually have all the way across the spectrum, which I love it. Max might be building a whole other spectrum up for himself. That's like something Max should do. Thanks for that. So for the most part, people are kind of in the middle of understanding it. And some people feel like they're really getting it. Others not so much. I kind of feel like I'm in the middle of this one myself. We are learning, and we are always will have a lot of inspiration and open-mindedness we'll carry around this. And so I'm glad to see that other people are kind of in the same headspace. Okay, let's move to our next one here. AI can play a pivotal role in product development, but human input is essential for success. So do you agree with that statement or you disagree with that statement? Do we have a little bit of a blend here? Is it no way because AI has got nothing to do with it? It's not pivotal at all? Or do we really agree that this is kind of a blending of the major minds?
Oh, and the poll's coming in. So we've got a whole bunch of votes and it's generally like 42%. I know a few things, but I'm still exploring.
Yep, that's perfectly reasonable, folks. Okay, so for our results within our board here, we have more people feeling like it does play a pivotal role, but keeping that human involvement. For those that answered on the lower side, they're either going to believe that AI plays no role or that humans aren't essential. I wonder which that would actually be. Maybe throw up a sticky note if you can, if you answered closer to the no way side of the scale, and just let us know, is it all humans? Is it all AI in your mind? While we're waiting for that one to materialize on the board, let's just slide down to our third area. And so how optimistic are you about the potential of AI and human collaboration and shaping the future of industries? Do you feel like we're doomed? AI is going to take all of our jobs away? Are you in the middle and you think a nice balance will yield good results? Or are you on the other end? And I, for one, welcome our new AI overlords to start doing everything. Let us see. That was a little girl on the side from Hillary here.
50% with optimism. So it's a bit of a balance, but nice balance between human and AI and the, and then also an optimistic with an 8% of a little concern.
Okay. A little bit of concern from the audience, but I for one feel like this really is, the potential is going to be there. AI is going to be able to do things a lot faster than humans can, but we're always going to need that human interaction. AI has surpassed needing us almost. Wow, that comes from B. Pryor over there, Mr. Matthews.
Boy.
So I think I knew that one was coming.
Yeah, we're gonna get more of that, I think.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Okay, and now let's just slide into our open-ended space down here. And I would love to hear from our group here, what kind of AI tools are you using? I would expect to see a few, and I'm going to throw one in here myself. We use ChatGPT a ton. We also use Miro AI a ton. It's great to have Miro AI built in. You can see as I'm typing on this sticky note, my response, the menu bar that comes up, we have access right now to Miro's beta for AI, and it's entirely capable. It's such a great way to summarize things. In fact, once these stickies end up coming into this part of the board, I will use it to do a quick clustering of the responses. So I can add one other that I've used, which is Pi. pi.ai, I think, is the link for that one. And I'm sure there are others. And we were having interesting discussions and getting ramped up for this session, asking things like, is Google Translate AI? It is a program specifically around language. It doesn't maybe appear to be built with an AI backbone, but it can do things similar to what AI can do. So there are some interesting questions to be had along there.
Yeah, there's many resources up there now.
DALL-E, Notion AI is coming in. We got a lot of ChatGPT, POE for all the things, TextFX. Okay, so this is not only learning what our team here is getting into in AI. This is a good repository for folks who are curious about AI, what you want to jump into. I see Adobe Illustrator text to video as well, and I know one of my partners in crime for facilitation, Rachel, is using the heck out of that to create some really amazing stuff. Okay, folks, so check this out. I'm going to select all of the stickies here on the page. What will come up is the Miro AI button. I will click and I will tell it to, let's cluster by keywords. Yeah, do that. So it's just going to take a second and boom, done. That was fast. So we got ChatGPT as the biggest one. Miro AI and DALL-E are coming in the second kind of group here. A few others around Text, FX, Adobe Illustrator, and a few uncategorized ones because they're a little bit outside of the group. But while this might not be 100% accurate, we might do a little bit of rejigging. That took me literally 2 seconds to do. So if you have a bunch of sticky notes in a Miro board, that's one way you can leverage AI to do a great job. And I love how this line continued up to the sticky it was attached to. That's just great how that works. Okay, so now let's thank you so much, first of all, for completing our icebreaker and initial questions. We will get into these questions again. We will re-poll at the end of our session to see if we were able to shift any kind of perceptions or anything like that about anything like that. So here we're going to go up into our next area, and I'll pull everybody up here on the board. Here we go. This is fantastic. And what we have up here for folks, I'm just going to change the share settings on the board to make sure that it's just my team. Okay, great. So what we decided to do to run through our tests for AI was to mock up a product development lifecycle. So we have a few specific tests. Oh, now we're getting all the folks coming into the room. This is great. So welcome for the ride, folks. We'll get you in here right away. So what we decided to do was taking some inspiration from some of the Miro board improv sessions that we run once again with Rachel. We decided to do kind of a Mad Libs so that if we're going to do a product development lifecycle, let's talk about a really interesting product so that we can test ourselves and test AI's capabilities. And so we're created a Mad Libs here that covers a thing, a purpose, for who, an outcome, and a vibe. And so we've already got the responses in here on the Miro board. What we did was we simply used Miro AI to write some prompts in stickies. So we have to suggest a bizarre household item. What are some comical secondary functions for toilet paper? These are some good prompts to put in to get a thing and a purpose. And so what I would ask the volunteer team here to do is drag some voting dots onto the selections in each category that you find the funniest, and that is the product we're going to put through this product development lifecycle. So one vote each. in each of these sections, please cast that along. Hillary and I will tabulate the results and we'll see what we come up with.
It's looking like it's a shower head that sprays different scents depending on your mood, which I'm down for, but we're not for sure yet. Not all the votes are in.
So something I wanted to do for the audience here is while our team is kind of, I'll turn off the cursors just for now. So just so you know, if you're visiting this board, we have a team of our team of 10 who are going to be interacting with this part of the experience. So you'll be set to view only for now, but we will open it up in a little bit so that you can go interact directly with our experience here. So as folks are voting, I just want to show you quickly how we came up with these prompts using Miro's AI. So when we have the prompts written here, you simply select the sticky, go into the Miro AI button, and you say, add similar sticky notes. And it will take that prompt, thinking about it, and it's going to generate some new stickies. So let's just go to where the results are. They sometimes go off a little bit where you're not working, but that's okay. It's easy to get and find them. So I can just cut them from here, and then I'll just zoom out and get back to where we were in the experience. And then I can just paste them underneath, resize, whatever I want to do. So generating ideas in stickies using Miro AI is very, very simple, and highly recommend that when it becomes available to all, you jump on that one and make great use of it. Okay.
Showerhead wins.
Showerhead wins. All right.
Showerhead
So
wins.
let's maybe write on a sticky, Hills, the type of product that we're going to have.
Yep.
We need some comical secondary uses for it. So we've got a bunch of 2 votes. Let's do as a fire starter for camping trips. I'll make the executive decision and vote on that one. Okay. And it is for minimalist lifestyle followers.
For minimalist.
Yeah, for minimalist lifestyle followers.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to, who are starting a cult following for your pet rock. Because that's just interesting as I'll get out to talk about, isn't it?
That's a wild combo.
And it will result in awe. That's the vibe we're going to get from it. So that's how we set up this activity, folks. Now we have something to work with, Hillary, which is what's our product? We're designing
a showerhead that sprays scents as a fire starter for a camping trip for a minimalist lifestyle. We're starting a cult following for a pet rock, resulting in awe.
Okay. That's a whole lot.
What?
That's a super complicated thing to build.
Yeah.
We might need to simplify it just a little bit, but let's go with that right now. So we're dealing with a shower head doing sense. Let's take this over into our first test area and let's see how our humans and AI can collaborate together. So I'm going to pull everybody over to our first test on the board to pit our AI versus, or not versus, but AI and human collaboration. And so I'll just zoom in on our instructions here. We're going to run several focus groups to find out if this product is the right one to be chasing down. So our task here is to have our human team use the stickies on the left-hand side here to write a couple of questions that they might like to ask in this focus group. And then I would ask the AI team to copy those. And let's say we want to run a focus group in 5 of the most common languages spoken in the world, which would be Mandarin Chinese, Hindi, Arabic, French, and Spanish. And so with some English questions being written on the left, we're going to get our AI team to translate those probably quicker than we could do with any other tool. So AI team, please copy and grab some of those questions and put them into your AI of choice. And let's get some responses under each of these. And we'll set our timer here for just about 6 minutes using our nice little planted widgets here. And that's gorgeous. So we're already getting a couple of questions in here.
Would you buy it for your grandmother? What are your favorite scents? I think that's a really good question that people would need to know.
Okay, so we have our first translation, thanks to, I believe that was Mike getting them in there.
Oh, yes.
That's super amazing. So we have our first Arabic translation.
And we have Mandarin.
Nice. So I'm not sure which question we are translating.
Yeah, maybe if you guys could put the actual English underneath so we know what it says.
Yeah, or just copy the sticky and put it next to the one that you've translated. Okay. That's great. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Rachel. That is amazing. So one of the great things when we were playing with ChatGPT was how incredibly accurate it was at getting translations for anything from simple questions to more complex topics, paragraphs. It's quite good. You can actually take an English sentence, say translate into the following 5 languages, and have it spit out every response that you get. And then you can do the reverse, obviously, as well as put in other languages and have them translate back into English. It is an absolutely phenomenal model to see. And so, oh, nice. We're getting some good stuff in here. We got a couple of more posted responses. So I believe that's what Max, of course it was Max. Thank you, Max. Max has done exactly that. He's got an answer for everything. He's threading them together with lines so that we know what question ties to what response. That is a result, folks. That is a result. Okay. So I think we don't need to belabor this one too much more. Within 2 minutes, folks, of starting this timer, we now have a lot of these questions translated. And so if you were looking to run focus groups, send out communications or emails to folks in different languages, this is one of the first places that I would stop rather than a translation. Or as an example, when I was using Google Translate to do some testing around this, you can only do one language at a time, and the text limit is kind of capped, I'm sure, unless you specifically purchase another plan, maybe to get a bit more text that you can put in there. But this is by far using ChatGPT is what I used to make this work, and it was just incredibly effective. So someone's putting in screenshots of the results. That is absolutely allowed here too, folks. If you don't want to copy and paste into stickies, you can just take that screenshot and fire it in. And we're actually, this is great because we're seeing the prompt that was used. Please translate into Mandarin, Hindi, Arabic, French, and Spanish. And it's very generous. Of course, I will do that for you. And it also accounts and warns you for different phrasing and regional dialects that could be coming up. It's going to go with kind of the most common ones in the base model. But
and always say please.
We always say please, because if it is, I for one welcome our new AI overlords. I don't want to be remembered for having saying please. Okay, I'm going to stop the timer on this one because I think that this has proved our point here. It's absolutely mind-blowing in just 3 minutes what has come up here working with a team of people. I think that this is great, and I do definitely see I believe that you need the human team to be thinking about very carefully what are the questions that we want to ask, especially if your specialty is in the area of focus group and communications. We've asked AI to generate text out of the blue based on one thing or another, and it's hit or miss with how relatable and in English language, and I don't mean from a translation perspective, but enticing or leading you to the right conclusions. There's always some things you'll need to tweak in the text. So best to put in the human-based text and then do that translation. I think that this works really, really well. Yeah. So that was our test for the polyglot. Hills, do you want to lead everybody through the second one?
Okay, we're on to the sentimentalist. So we have a selection of 25 statements from our focus group questions. And what do you think of these products overall? It's like the responses of people. And then, so we're going to get the AI to determine which is like the sentimental, is it positive, negative, mixed, or neutral? And so John and I did this previously, and we found that there was a lot of alignment with us humans and then also with the AI, but there was still, you had to review and go through and make sure that it made sense as well. But it was just a really quick way of gathering that data. And so we're also going to get the humans to interpret the results and indicate whether it's a good idea to proceed with the product development. Yeah,
so if you're on the human team, or you are a human indeed, I hope we do have some AI bots in here visiting. Hello. But if you are on the human team, you can do this sentiment analysis, which obviously many hands will make light work here, though I am interested to see if there's any disagreement, because even in Hillary and my testing, we would read something and interpret it differently, and we would give it a slightly different response here. For those who want to test out AI, I would just say that over in the notes pane, if you go to this icon at the top of your Miro screen and pop it open, we have the sentimentalist prompts in there that you can copy and paste out. Actually, all the prompts for all these tests are in there. And so feel free to grab them that way. And if you do happen to copy something on the Miro board, I would just ask Mr. Pryor, once you've selected a text box, just click off or hit escape so you deselect it so that other folks can grab that box in Miro. And amazingly enough, the human team was quick, but I did see a lot of these sentiments come in. And so let's see how good a job we did here. I'm just going to
line it up.
Yeah, line it up a little bit. Maybe I'll just, here are the sentiment ratings for each sentiments. Yes. So Hells, why don't you look at the human one and I'll call out here, and you can see where the majority is sitting, but I'm seeing a lot of actually in the human interpretation of things where some neutral, some negative, some even positive. So
I'm going to get some check marks so that we can say yes or no on whether it was aligned.
Yeah, that's it.
With the stickies.
Okay. So Max is seeing some alignment here. He's pointing out 18 is neutral. Yeah. So it looks like the first few are positive. The first 4 are kind of heavy positive. Yeah, then we have neutral from the AI.
Okay.
So neutral, negative are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we've got positive, positive, positive.
Yep.
Positive, positive, positive.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6.
Yep.
That looks like the case. Okay. And then we have a neutral again.
6. Yeah, it is a bit mixed on the human one as well. We've got a bit of all of them.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
And then positive, 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 positive. There's 5.
3, 4. Yep.
Oh, and Rachel's didn't have any negatives. That's really interesting. Because there were definitely ones we put in that we wanted to be negative, and I think they are clearly negative. If we can find what the human ones that are. Okay, so here's one, number 19. I appreciate the creativity behind it, which is kind of positive. But I'm not sure it's practical for everyday use, which is kind of negative, I guess. So that's maybe a kind of a mixed one.
It's a no-go, probably.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, there's discrepancies in this one. Even from AI to AI, we might not see the exact same results running this kind of test twice. And another interesting bit about AI was that when I would go, after receiving the prompt, I would go, hey, wasn't number 18 or whatever it was actually a little bit negatively worded? And AI would be like, oh, you're right. I didn't see that. I realize that now, and I'm changing my answer. And then I was able to convince it again to say, isn't it really negative? And it's like, oh, I guess it is. Yeah.
You're teaching it. You're teaching.
I'm teaching it, or I'm leading it. I'm not sure which is going to be. So I would always say when you're doing this kind of sentiment analysis, it does need a human touch to review the results and make sure. And if you can get a team of 10 people together to work on 25 statements, you'll get it done in no time at all. But let's say you're running an employee survey or a customer survey and you have hundreds of responses, you can use the sentiment analysis to get a really quick gauge of what the sentiments are. And you could know, I would say from what we've seen, that it looks like it's around at least 85 to 90% in line with what a human might do. With the other 10% is, our experiences as people or as robots, whatever it is. And so it's great to get the power and the speed, but keep that human eye on things, I think, is our lesson here.
Yeah, neither are fallible.
Okay, there were some other great prompts here. So this prompt return that I'm viewing right now is showing all the statements and showing how each of them rated. Here is a great summary. Someone asked for a graph, which I love. There's some great graphing plugins you can get with ChatGPT now. And once again, it's like, certainly I can do that for you. So keep saying please. They didn't say please. Okay, no problem. And provide a rationale. Okay, so someone's taken this even a step further, which you can always go back and ask questions. So it tells you in the responses what it is seeing that is so important and why it did the sentiment in the way that it did, which I think is fantastic, because then you can understand why it's interpreting the way it is and anticipate how you might need to word your prompts as you go in. So this is all super fascinating.
Yeah, no, they've done a great job. Thanks, guys.
Incredible. All righty, let's move to the next one, which might make some people cringe a little bit.
Made me cringe. John made me do all the questions.
The mathematician. So in this one, I'm just going to stop our timer so I can start a new one. Here we go. So in order to move forward with product development, we have conducted some preliminary research, let's say. We didn't really do it. We kind of made this stuff up using AI. Isn't that great? So we want to follow a two-step process here. The AI in this sense will get answers to the questions that we've indicated. And humans, I would love if a few humans could try and work out the responses to this and see how fast you could get them. But I think more what we would look for the humans here is, because I just would assume the math is going to be done by AI probably by the time I zoom out here. So then I'd want the humans to be able to interpret those results to see if we should go to market or not based on the market data. And maybe the AI team could also ask AI based on this and these results, should we go to market? So let's see what kind of a result we get right here. I'm going to zoom in on this GIF.
Oh boy.
Absolutely incredible. Let's do it. This is amazing, people. I love people out there. Please keep doing this. So there's space on the left for humans to work and some stickies for you to grab and do any work that you want to do. On the right side, we have the AI prompt, but once again, folks, you can just open up that side pane, and right here under the mathematician prompt is the prompt that you can copy and paste to ask your questions of AI. Okay, so let's see what we come up here. 42, that is the answer. Right on to the life, the universe, and everything.
It's hiding in the
It is hiding. Oh, there is a Easter egg, folks.
Yep.
I should say that now. There's an Easter egg on this board, and I would love it if someone would find it, mention it in the chat. We have a question from Q&A. How did you put the data into Miro, from Miro into OpenAI
and
to
get the charts? How do you get the charts?
So one of the plugins to OpenAI, I can't remember the name of the plugin right now. ChartMe maybe is what it is. Maybe one of my team who just used it could write on a sticky note which one that was. But it is a, for the paid accounts in ChatGPT, there's all kinds of amazing plugins you can do that get it to connect to the web and create graphics and visualization. There's a visualization one, which is super fantastic. And so all you need to do is ask it to create a graph, and it will think the heck out of it and pull the graph in. It's quite incredible. Ooh, we've got some responses. Okay. So a part of, I should show folks in the audience this question here. I'll zoom in on the human side because it's still there. So really, this question doesn't require complex math. It is just complicated in that we're talking about how many units. We have goals to be set in year 1 and year 2. We have market research, supply chain intricacies, financial considerations. This is not just stuff you can sit down with and say, aha, that's an easy answer. I know what I'm doing. And we have different questions here, like how many will we sell in the first 2 years? What's our market size in the first 2 years? You know, how many defect-free units are expected? This is the kind of summary info we would need to know if we're going to market or not. And people here are, oh, someone's getting some of the answers in here. Other people saying I can't do it. I've definitely used ChatGPT to do this on my behalf. You know what? You're working smart, not hard. I love it. Okay. So here are the responses. Repeat that last answer as Elvis Presley, and thank you. We got him up there. Where's his deep fried peanut butter sandwiches and peanut butter banana? So the first year we're looking at a hunk of 60,000 units. We're rocking up to 100,000. This is insanely good. The next 2 years, that's a total of 160,000 units, darling. We're talking about a real crowd pleaser here. Oh yeah. So first year we got 200,000 units with 220,000 in the second year. That's correct. Year 1, we have a few more. And we get a total profit of 4.3 million. It's not small change, sweetheart. We talk about a whole lot of shake, rattle, and roll. This is incredible. So if you didn't know that you can do this with ChatGPT, ask it to give you an answer in another language or in a different voice as someone else, of an author, of Elvis Presley here, you know, whatever you get. And it looks like I'm seeing 60,000 units here. We're seeing 100,000 units and 104,000. So that's slightly off, but not the worst. We got 200,000. Market size in year 1 is 2 million. Okay, so this is an interesting result that we're getting here because they are different. So AI has interpreted the questions slightly differently. Isn't that interesting? So this is why you always have to check your work when you're working in this tool. My hypothesis, one of my hypotheses would be that AI is the thing to go from blank page, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to get it done, to getting some wisdom, some knowledge, and something in front of you. But it might not always be 100% accurate because if perhaps this prompt was plugged in all at once, maybe it's confusing terms or elements like that. So you might want to go back and put them in one at a time. I'm seeing another result over here on the right that looks closer to the first one that we looked at. Yes, so And now we're seeing maybe a bit of a change here. Okay, so it looks from what we have done, the first responses that we saw here in the Elvis voice look like the ones that we calculated when we got this all through. And one of the volunteers here is saying, we're just going to get this to come to the front. Yes, we should proceed to the product launch. The expected net profit is 10 million. This is coming from AI, I can tell, because it's asking if we have further questions or need additional clarifications. And while I have every confidence that humans would answer our questions, that's definitely an AI response prompt. And so can I have a human validate all of this? What do we got here? Naming a product. Oh, this is interesting. Someone's got a name for our product here. Nice. Pressiflow, Maxi Yield, Otosphere. That's super wacky. Okay. And someone's putting in a whole bunch of stuff about Jeff Goldblum. So that's really cool too.
Oh boy.
Okay. So folks, 1 + 1 is 2. This one, whoever did the 1 + 1 is 2, that is the real answer. So AI can be flawed at things too, folks. So we got to check our work. We got to double check. Can't just get it to write a paper on something and hand in the paper and hope for the top grade. But it also is deadly quick when it gets the responses right and understands the prompts that we're putting in. So this is a very interesting result from the mathematician, I think. So let's move on to the next one. Hills, you want to set up the connoisseur?
Yeah. So the connoisseur is we're wanting to have basically to preface it is that every brand, every product, every image has a certain vibe, a certain impression that it leaves upon you when you first see it or when you're using it. So what we're wanting to do is to kind of do a preliminary indicator of what we want it to look like, in what direction do we want it to go. So our initial poll was that we wanted it to give awe for our shower head that sprays.
Different sense, yeah.
We wanted to somehow imply awe. So we're going to have to poll our human audience after the AI group has created some visuals that will maybe help support the awe factor. Yeah, so we've got some mood mist in here.
That's right.
Which I'm not so minimalist, but that's okay. We're going with the spray aspect.
Oh goodness. One thing that was really interesting around this as we were setting it up is that we could find AI that would, you can upload images and then you can ask it to do things with the images, clean them up, make them sharper. ChatGPT has a new plugin that handles some image stuff. I don't think it's quite up to the speed that that Midjourney does, but now ChatGPT is adding DALL-E to their dashboard so that you can use that there as well. But we weren't able to find anything that could take a picture and then tell us what response a human might get from it. So if you wanted to have AI analyze a bunch of pictures and say, this one is the one that is most awe-inspiring, we couldn't find anything that does that. If you do or know of something, please write it into the chat or throw something up on the board when you get access here. So this one, we figured the best way to go would be to have our talented team come up with some art using AI, because they can tell AI to create something that has a sense of awe, that also has all of the other weird attributes of this crazy product we're trying to get to market here. And so let's see what we can get here in the next couple of minutes here. I'm sure folks are running some Midjourney prompts and some other prompts to get some interesting different iconography up here in visuals, something that is awe-inspiring. I'm loving the colorful stuff here.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of implying the variety of smells, maybe.
Yeah. So we'll just give that another second.
Yeah, because sometimes those prompts can have to be long to get what you want. You know, you got to kind of lean it to the direction you want it to go.
Oh, here's a nice little one. Oh, so Rachel, I think just did something that I will demonstrate also for the audience. So Miro's AI does a super fantastic job of removing the background part of images. So I'll just duplicate here. And with this picture selected, you'll see I get the Miro AI prompt. I will click it once, hit remove background, and within just a few seconds, we're going to have an amazing backgroundless image.
Oh, it even took the whites of the eyes.
It made it evil. Oh no. Okay, obviously, yes, Rachel did that on Photoshop, and its evil cousin here is done in Miro. Maybe we could have this product as pitting two things against each other, the good and the evil mood mist. Okay, zooming in over here.
Oh, here we go. There's some showerhead campfire show.
So here's the best it can do. Oh, the shower. I'm going to get to that in a sec. Someone did write in which of these 4 images provide the viewer the most awe, and you're able to upload images into ChatGPT. So it says, well, I can provide a logical assessment. The feeling of awe is subjective and varies from person to person. I agree that that is true, but I also feel like when you're talking to someone like Hillary, who is just into everything design and art, and elicit emotions and feelings from people with the work you do, which is incredible. I think you have a bead on what would be awe-inspiring for most people.
Yeah, there's a general consensus culturally, generally, you know, certain colors have certain feelings and impressions that we're kind of tuned into from, you know, just the surroundings that we live in and how we're brought up. So generally, you know, when you're wanting to get activated, you go with more saturated, more vibrant colors. And when you're wanting a mood mist that's a little bit more awe-inspiring, you might go with some playful color theme. But we've got some really awesome stuff happening here.
So those of you who maybe voted when the first image came up, we love that you voted there. But if you want to cast another vote based on some of these new ones, please do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, these are like product shots.
It's like a hair dryer, but also
shower head.
A shower head
with a hose. That's rad. That is rad.
You guys are awesome.
Shower head.
Oh wow, we got a whole scene with the that's like this is the actual glamping situation.
Love it. Imagine glamping and having this giant shower head over your fireplace for safety, right? It's for
it's for when we need to put it out.
Okay, so I mean, I am hit by awe with a few of these, honestly.
Yeah.
So it looks like this actual kind of glamping one might be very close. Oh, no, we got some more coming in.
Oh boy.
So someone here has used Miro's AI to generate an image, which is entirely possible to do. So I will do the same, and I'm sure it will come up with something slightly different. So select the sticky, hit the AI button, and just say generate image. I'm kind of thinky about that one as well.
It's like a kettle.
Little bit of a kettle, yeah. Just a few seconds more and we'll have a result here.
Sometimes we, in our meetings, make AI generated images just to get a laugh.
Yeah, because they're not always, whoa.
Oh, it's a nasal spray.
That is sort of strange. It's like a shower head into a nasal spray.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, I know. This one is kind of interesting too down here.
Oh, it's like seaweed.
All right, this is just about stuff, folks. Okay, well, I think we've had a good time here. I would say the 2 winners would kind of come down to this mood mist one, which definitely has shower head, has smell, and a lot of positive votes to it. I also love this glamp one just because that is awe-inspiring to a T.
That's the winner because it includes the camping aspect.
Yeah, I love that one. So thank you so much for getting those done. This one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That is the connoisseur. So folks, we'll speed into our last one here so that we can figure out if we're going to go to market or not. This one's called the inventor. I will bring everyone along to this part on the board. So what we're doing here is some final brainstorming. So humans on the human team, consider the responses, everything we've come up with so far, and highlight any critical information that you've seen in our tests here that make us know, are we going to product with this absolutely insane product? Are we going to market with that or not? For you AI folks, there are some slightly different prompts over here that if you maybe type in the type of product we're working with here, and maybe Hills can pull down the sticky note that had the description. See what AI will tell you about what are the advantages of this? What are the challenges to bring it to market? How can this product improve the life of our target audience? And what are the alternative suggestions for how we can serve these people who want, what's the outcome we want of our silly product here?
We wanted to create awe, but we also wanted, we didn't really get the cult following for our pet rock, but maybe that's implied by the camping situation.
Yes. But, all right, let's focus on the cult following aspect of we want that for this product. Elvis says yes. The numbers look good, but I won't take the fall if it fails. Well, I wouldn't blame you for that.
Smart investing.
So, okay. Yeah, some more folks are just grabbing that prompt, which is incredible. And we will let that.
Do we have a reliable manufacturer?
It's a great question.
Maybe Willy Wonka will make it.
Hey, maybe he can call up Elvis and we'll figure that out. Okay. So the humans are doing our thinking here. What's up?
Only if Hillary is the product and package designer.
I'm down. I am down with that plan.
Whoever said that is awesome.
Okay, we'll start off this timer here. You just give this a few minutes and then we'll do a quick wind down with the audience to meet our deadline here. So we got about 10 more minutes here, folks. Hope you're enjoying this one. We're having tons of fun to figure out where's the love, where's the humans, where's the II, where are we coming together? Yeah, I got those reactions.
Yeah,
up there.
thanks,
I'm gonna send a
guys.
few of my own, but yeah. Okay, we're seeing our first AI side of the equation. Those responses are coming in. Please tell me if this product will make me a billionaire. Shower head sprays, here we go. I'm afraid I can't predict individual financial outcomes. Well, that's kind of good. I wouldn't really want AI to. However, I can tell you the success of a product depends on factors like market demand, effective marketing. Remember, entrepreneurship involves risks. Well, thanks for that, ChatGPT. That's the motherhood response that maybe says, do your homework, do some studying, things like that. Don't rely on AI to make that decision. That's just maybe a good idea, maybe not. What else do we got here? So someone here had simplified the prompts that they put in, which is, oh, and that's gone away, which I think is a good idea. So a scented shower head / fire starter. AI loves the multifunctionality, the aesthetic and the sensory appeal, the novelty factor, portability, and the emotional connection. What could be enhanced by personal choice of scents? Hey, look, it's taken that further, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The challenges, this is technically complex. There's regulatory hurdles. Oh, well, you didn't think about that, did you? The cost to make it could be a lot. We could confuse the market because who are we serving? And inventory and refills could be logistically complicated as well. How can it improve the life of the target market? It's more convenient for people who want this, I suppose. Enhanced experience. There's a social aspect, apparently. It's a conversation starter in that regard. You can go into work the next day and say, hey, I got a soap dispenser fire starter, want to see? And sustainability, I guess it encourages a lifestyle with fewer material possessions. Okay, we're getting a lot more info now. Challenges to fix it. I wanted to see some alternative selections. So I'm going to just jump to that specific part of this. Stepping in your shower after a tiring day and being enveloped in a cloud of lavender, or perhaps mint, the simple joys of life. Also for the campers and minimalists, it's a perfect blend of function and frill because it'll start fires. So it's saying scented bath bombs, aroma diffusers, and a multi-tool camping gear is the way to go. And questions we could ask are places our imaginations could take us. How do we ensure scents are ethically sourced, environmental impact of it, and what can we do to make it accessible to various economic classes? Yes, we want to bring this to everyone, whether they are in a high economic category or not. They need to have this product. So there's a lot of other information coming in here as well. Some good advantages and things to watch out for. So folks, this is where I want to bring us now. Having looked at this and considered all this, I want everyone to kind of pop over to this next area and we'll just vote. Are we bringing this thing to market? Yes or no? And as the results go in, I want your honest responses too, because we've been a little bit silly, but let's say this was an actual option to go to market with. Are we going to go? So we got a few people saying yes. We got a couple of no's rocking in. My knee-jerk reaction is not to do this. We can keep these things separate potentially. But I don't know, maybe you feel a little bit different. What I found fascinating about this particular test is that we were feeding AI these questions and it will give us responses. It will justify, it will give us tons of things to think about, in almost encouraging us because we're asking it to figure out if we can bring this to market or not. When someone recommended a shower head that sprays different scents for starting fires at a camp, for a minimalist lifestyle, for people who are starting a cult following for a pet rock, that's a bit of a niche group that we want to get in here. So I think we all kind of knew once we got going, we weren't going to go to market. There's a few of you who want to, and I love you. Yeah, that's super getting it out there. Okay, so thank you so much for participating in that crazy silliness. I hope that you learned a little bit about how we can ask and answer questions, but then what do we do with the results and how do we make sure that we're paying attention to the right things? So I just want one more piece of feedback from our group here. All of the tests that we just went through are listed here, and there's a continuum for each of them. And I'd like you to indicate for me where you felt the weight of this task sat. For this critical success of this task, was it all AI on the left? Was it all humans on the right? Or was it some kind of a blend in the middle for the collaboration here? So drag a dot on the continuum for each of these, and hopefully the folks who are helping us out with these tests can get that done. And I would expect that the responses are going to be kind of a mixed grouping from folks. I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit of a spread because there was just so much that one or the other was kind of good at in different elements of.
Yeah, there were different amounts that each person, AI and human, needed to interact with.
Yeah. So the polyglot, that's in here. It looks like that's weighted a little bit more towards humans. Oh no, we have actually someone going the other way now. So
half and half.
We're mixing this one. Looks like right across the middle for language translation. The human needs to develop the question. The AI needs to do the translation. So that's interesting. Coming to the sentimentalist. This one looks like it's slightly weighting itself a bit more for humans. And I would tend to agree with that one.
Yeah.
I think AI can chunk that stuff out really quickly, but we're going to just need to pay special attention to how it's interpreting things. And even though we get some of the things a little bit, not quite seeing eye to eye on for some of them, we could at least have that conversation and rationalize out.
We could dance.
We could totally dance around that. Mathematician, we're leading more into AI. I tend to agree with this. While there might be some issues understanding the question that we're throwing in the prompts, we can definitely piece it out bit by bit. And so I would agree that anything math related and problem solving related, the recall and speed, computing speed of AI is just going to be better than most humans, I would say. The connoisseur, this is a really interesting one because AI played such a big part to develop the imagery. But I think if I'm getting the responses that I'm seeing here right, the interpretation of the humans is so essential because we need to make sure that we have that feeling of awe like we set out to do in the first place. And in order to know that we're getting that, unless we want to hear that awe is a subjective thing, that ain't no answer AI. We want a firm answer on this one. So I tend to agree with that. And then for the inventor, at the end of the day, we're all going to have to make the final call on whether or not we're going to develop a product or something like that. I would certainly want a group of humans making that final call, even if we used AI as a tool along the way to generate a lot of responses around that. So folks, we're getting some extra logos and stuff up here.
The robots approve.
Robots approve. All right,
approve.
We've done it. We've done it, everybody. So if we can throw up the final poll here just in our last 3 minutes, I would invite the team to fill in these last couple of questions that we have here on the Miro board. They are the same as the questions we had on the lead in. So we want to see if perceptions or opinions or anything like that changed. I want to make sure that the board is open to edit, and absolutely is. So folks, come on in and vote on these last 3 questions. And as we just take you through the last couple of resources that we want to share with you, I'm going to stop people following me just because I don't want to be pulling people all over that poll you're completing. The last open-ended question here is just one. If you have 1 or 2 words, describe your feelings towards human AI collaboration. And if we get enough time, we'll cluster that one real quickly. That'll be here for an artifact on the board, even after we end the session in the next 2 minutes. While we are waiting for that, there are some takeaways for you folks over here on the right side. And so number 1 for these takeaways is that Hero Studio has a Miro prep checklist. If you're building an experience, you want to make sure you're going through all the motions to make sure it's the best experience it can be. Contact us and get a copy of our great 3-page checklist. It handles things like sharing, content management, and gives you some ideas for what to do before, during, and after the event. The next section here are just some AI resources that we have found helpful. I think like most people do, well, now if we need help with something, we ask AI, but before that, we would ask YouTube. And so we went on YouTube, and some of the amazing folks and channels that we were able to tap into to get some ideas of how to leverage these tools are listed out here in our AI resources section. Just below that is our Miro resource section, and we're constantly building and adding to this. The more facilitators that I work with, we're trying to capture all of the different ways and tools that we have. So everything from Miro's homepage, where you can sign up for a free account today if you haven't already, to the amazing Miro community. Miro has a YouTube channel where you can get all kinds of video recordings. There's the Miro Academy to learn. The Miroverse itself with some different templates, and this great Miro orientation template that Hero Studio has up there. That's a great one to throw into your workshops to teach folks how to use Miro, and some paid resources and Miro resources. And a special thank you to our audience.
Huge thank you.
You test pilots who helped us prep this and get all this done and partaking in it. Here are your names: Annie, Lucy, Dargy, Colin, Rachel, Mike, Max, Jed, Rob, Gregarious Funk. Thank you folks so much as their session here ends. It's been a blast. We love doing this stuff. We hope you could tell you want to chat with us about any kind of Miro designs, get in contact with us. Our contact info is here. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day at Distributed.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.